Alright YouTube, what is going on? It's ConflctNerd Family here today, bringing you episode number 5 of my Project Highrise series. In today's episode, I'm going to do basically what I said at the end of the last episode, so this might be a repeat for some people, but I want to go ahead and increase the population drastically up to, give or take maybe about 150. I want to get our prestige up to at least 10. And then I also want to go ahead and build up to story 10. So right now we're relatively close to that, and we're going to go ahead and reach that by the end of this episode. Now we're up to nearly $5,000 per day, so I want to start off by jumping into the, or not here, whoa. Well, we could look at that a little bit closer, but I want to go ahead and turn my attention to this. So we are right now, this is the one which I'm really needing to get done today, the industry diversification. That might not even get done today, to be fair. It's because that's gonna, after level 10 there's gonna be lobbies, then there's gonna be a change to the building layout. So I need to go ahead and, because the medium offices are required for this challenge, we can go ahead and lay that out after the level 10 lobbies, because we're gonna, as I said, change the building layout. Right, we're going to go ahead and pick something else, and I think it's going to be this one here, so resounding revenue. So the city is again seeking to demonstrate to developers what a hospitable and profitable place this is. If you can make $5,000 in rent revenue per day, that would help out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and the reason is because we actually got quite a bit of money there to start that one off, which is pretty cool. I'm quite close. As you can see, I'm at 4,700, so I'm thinking we go ahead and reach that relatively shortly. We're about to do quite a bit of expanding, so that's going to require better facilities, so we'll probably take a little bit of a step backwards, but then we'll leap forwards, which will be good. So one thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and, because we have quite a bit of money, I want to go ahead and basically put in some more art down here, some modern art. So that's going to go ahead and help out. Did that increase our, yeah, so that's increased our prestige up to level 7, which is nice to see. And oh no, that's not as good. Well, it's not as good, I mean it's not a bad thing, but we are now having to get, it's not every 10 people or every 20 people, sorry, you get a population prestige star. It's now every 30, so bit of a bigger jump there, which is unfortunate. Right, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is, because we've got a lot of money, is we're going to go ahead and pre-build floor 10. So that is going to cost, I don't know how much it costs all in all, probably the best part of $1,000 there, but again, we have the money, and I'm playing this game constantly on ×2 speed, and the reason is because the time I'm done building for the day, I've usually got more money coming in, so I'm not really having to wait at all now. And this episode, like the previous episodes, have been a bit stop-start, but this episode is definitely going to be very much just continuing, just non-stop going through, which is good. So let me go ahead and start off by jumping in here and building just another studio, just because it's a bit, I mean the facilities are there, and let's go ahead and get someone moved into there. Our builders have got a lot of work to do, not gonna lie. Now there is a problem, and that problem is that our builders cannot get to the top floor, level 10, so we'll go ahead and add some elevators there, and there. So with that done, it's time to do some more office expansion. So let me go ahead and add in offices where appropriate, and it's going to be quite a large office expansion here, as you can see. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new offices in here, and then when the guys get done up here as well, we're going to go ahead and do even more expansion. So it's extremely large. Now, before we go ahead and turn our attention to that, I actually want to go ahead and deal with these floors over here, or at least one of these floors. So we jump into the floor map, you can see we've got 2, 1, and 0, or grounds, whatever you want to call it. So I want to go ahead and deal with story 2. Now, the reason I didn't put apartments in is because, one, these guys like to have their apartments higher up, which is understandable because there's less traffic. But I wanted to go ahead and add in some basic living facilities, I guess you could say. So if I jump into here, and are we, yeah, this is it here. So building amenities, that's probably not how you pronounce it, but I am I don't know. Right, so place items around your building to make your people's lives a little bit better. people will visit and use these if they are located on the same floor as their offices or apartments. So these ones here are to do with different things. It's going to help, hopefully, just the general satisfaction of the building. So we're going to go ahead and just try them out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work. I actually want to go, see, I was hoping, like, see common areas, like stuff, payphones, all this sort of stuff. I'm hoping that it's going to have a little bit of an effect on the, what do you call it, the residential people as well, like common areas, like that might go ahead and help things out. I'm not really at all sure if it is going to, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, let's pause before we get lots of complaints. So let's pause and let's go ahead and it looks like all you guys require, or some of you require electricity, which is understandable, and some of you also require phone as well. Phone booths, funnily enough, that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and extend that along there, and we're all good on that front for the time being. So we get the game back to ×3 speed. So jumping back up here, as we can see, the construction is slowly but surely getting there. So let's go ahead and continue with our mass expansion for the time being. We've also inched a tiny bit closer to that $5,000, though I've got a feeling at midnight here we're going to take an extremely large step backwards, probably lose $1,000 or two, but we'll get back to the profit eventually, no problemo. So with all this, let's go ahead and add in some more electrical wires. If we go ahead and zoom out to make this process a little bit faster, as we can see, our builders are near enough done the next 2 floors, which is good. So with that done, we've added in, I need to go ahead and add in some more housing facilities. Let's get the houses up and done. Let's just stop, let's slow down. Just calm down, slow down. Let's go ahead and break this up. So let's start off with the housing stuff, then let's do the office stuff, because I'm sort of doing like 3 things at once here and we're a little bit all over the place, not going to lie. So let's first of all jump into trash and deal with that issue. So again, recycling, normal trash, then back in here and add in a water or plumbing closet, should I say. Then let's go ahead and add in some water pipes. Now I do realise that we have gone ahead and set that up, which is good, but I don't know if we have enough, which we'll go ahead and deal with water utilization and power utilization. So let's jump down here. So office, it's getting pretty high, and water, we're at 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a drastic change here. So we're going to go ahead and jump back in here to utilities. So we're going to go ahead and build one of these monstrosities, which is going to cost a lot of money per day, but it's going to work out long term. But it's got an extremely large initial cost, the same as a piece of art. It has an initial cost of 5,500, which is an extremely large amount. So you guys can support 50, this can support 150. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place you in there, and then what's going to happen is you guys are basically going to get eclipsed. So now we should have, yeah, we're only at 38, so I'm going to go ahead and delete one of you guys. Then we're at 47. So hold up, actually, have I got 3 of these? No, so I can still delete this, so we're totally fine. So that works out, and we've still got like an extra room for, what's that? Maths column, 56 extra buildings, which is fine. And then we've basically got the same issue with water as well, though it's not actually as bad. So let me have a think about this. The first issue I need to go ahead and work out here is if we look at this, and then we look at water, water's not on the floor down below. So everything needs to be on this first floor essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we've not even got a 51 in yet, so we're going to upgrade to the 51 and we're going to go ahead and delete you and you. So we're going to be spending a little bit more money on that, and as you can see we're now down to 4,500, lost out on a few $100s, but again it'll be worth it in the long run. So that should deal with any upcoming issues which we may get to do with water or electricity. While on the topic, we're probably going to have to deal with a phone issue though, so I mean right now we've got an extra 19 offices which can be connected up with phones, so I don't think that's actually too bad. So now we've dealt with that issue and we've dealt with our residential issue, we can now turn our attention to the offices. So we've got a lot, and 12 empty offices there, then we have an extra 10, so we have 22 empty offices, and this is going to increase our population by quite some bit. So again, I'm not really too bothered about what we go ahead and put in here. I'm going to go ahead and put phone line necessary offices close to the wiring closet, funnily enough, and and then from there we'll go ahead and we will stick the other ones, I guess you could say. We're also going to do some advertising to fill these up, by the way, over away from the wiring closet. So let's go ahead and add you in. Now I'm going to pause because we might have forgotten something. We're fine on that front, so we're okay on electricity. We've already did all the wiring, so we're good. I'm going to have to go ahead and add in phone wires for you guys. Not you guys, surprisingly. We'll go ahead and just fill this whole bit in here for phone wires, actually, just because I reckon this is where the phone related offices are going to be, so we should get no complaints going forward now, which is good. Right, so accounting offices, I can't get any of yous in. I can get one of yous in, but the problem is that it's the food problem, which is very strange. So let me place you guys over here, or the ones which we can build in over here, because you guys don't actually require any phone services, which is fair enough by me. I want to go ahead and try and deal with that issue today, because it's a very strange one, not gonna lie. So if we jump down here to foods, and this is where we've got a lot of our facilities, and we still have quite I mean, there's still some room to go ahead and add in more facilities down here, which is easy enough to do. I do want to go ahead and jump in and check our satisfaction maps. So as we can see, it looks like anyway, most eating and retail facilities are happy. We've got a little bit of, and it seems to be with our residents seem unhappy here. So residents are content if they're on the outside, but if they're on the inside, they're not. There's nothing absolutely amazing. I mean, understandably, you guys are not really going ahead and you're not really getting too much from these apartments. They're very basic and it's not that exciting if I'm totally honest. We've also got some more issues here, like the satisfaction isn't that green, if you know what I mean. I think it's because you guys are paying a bit higher rent, like a lot higher rent, but at the same time, like, if we're making this continuous money, I might go ahead and start to lower some rents. But we'll go ahead and wait until I've completed at least this mass expansion. So, things are a little bit mixed in the tower right now. Things are definitely a little bit mixed. So one good thing is that we've managed to reach over $5,000 per day already, which is good. I think it's just because we've added in quite a lot of more offices recently, which is good to see. So let's go ahead and continue and keep filling up these offices. So again, I've got a lot more creative offices in here, which is good. That's just through the advertising. So, hello Bill. You work at Valor Studios, and that lunch was good, and you're relatively happy, which is nice to see. Though don't do this, Bill, to me, no, right, pause. I need to close you first of all, Bill. There we go, thank you. There's also an issue with that in City Skylines when like you click on like a bus, for example, and then it drives away and it's like you have to chase it to close it. It's a little bit silly. Anyway, I'm just very quickly going to go ahead and fill in these offices, and your average rent's definitely gone up as well here, which is good. It's good for me, but on the terms of satisfaction, we're losing out on that plus point in terms of people are a little bit upset because the rent's so high, which I totally understand. Right, we'll move you over to this side here, in fact, actually, so we'll stick you in there, and then we'll go ahead and stick you in there. So we're just about filled up for the time being, which is nice to see. Now, we'll go ahead and add in 2 more apartments over here. Now, I'm a little bit confused about what we're going to do, so we're going to go ahead and fill you. Actually, the price of basic apartments has gone down, which is interesting. Why is that? Is it because water? No, you guys are paying $10 less than the people below you, which is very strange. Not really at all sure why that is. Odd one. I'm not really at all sure what to do at this left side. That's the thing which I'm not at all sure what I'm going to do. But can I get, I'm 1 off, honestly, that's so unlucky. I'm 1 off getting in, and that's the thing, I don't like all these variable lengths of the different units. That's something which is, for me, a little bit annoying. What I could do is move the elevator shaft after... I could just move the elevator shaft. That's really what I could do. So after... what? This floor, one of these floors here, probably this floor here, move the elevator shaft over 1. That's really what I would like to do. And then that would allow me to... then I can't really do that unless I have a lobby. That's not going to work. So again, I'm going to have to find something to go in here. I'm not really at all sure. Studios could work because there is still bin facilities, but I think this would be too high traffic area for that sort of thing. We could get in one office, at least in every single one here. Then we can add in stuff like communal areas. Like, I mean, I don't know how good this stuff is. So, it looks like people are, from this floor at least, and also the houses making use of this sort of stuff. So, this could actually work. And I think this improves satisfaction as well, which is quite a good idea. So, we can maybe start doing stuff like that. You know, that really would actually work out. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So we're going to go ahead and add even more offices into our expansion. And then we're just going to go ahead and do a variety of different residential or whatever this is, building, yeah, that word. Right, so again, yeah. That's something which vending machines is only 2 wide. Payphones is only 2 wide. Common area, see, common areas are 3 wide, which is interesting. So I think we've already got a common area on that floor, but I'm not really bothered. We'll just go ahead and do you every 3 floors. Then what's the other one? Payphones, common areas, shoe shines. Shoe shines are 3 wide as well. Now, I realise they're not that popular in this day and age, but I guess they were quite a big deal back in the day. Then which one are we going to add payphones into? Again, I'm just considering we'll probably put payphones higher up, because the higher up you go, the more likely we're going to have payphones in the building, or phone lines in the building, sorry. Then the final one is we'll put in a vending machine there. So yes, again, there is still gaps, but they are not as evident, which is good to see. So of course I built on a line or a level which doesn't have any phone connections, so we'll go ahead and drag a large phone cable right through the building there, but that solves that problem now, and as we can see, the building is looking much more full. But there's still a lot of empty offices which we need to go ahead and deal with. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and not take out a loan. That is the first thing I'm going to do. So we're going to go ahead and start to build floor number 11. So we're going to go ahead and expand this right along here. And then we're going to do the same with floor 12. So these 2 floors are going to be extra special floors. We'll build it. Might as well pre-build 13 as well. We have the money. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do 14 too. So 11 and 12 are going to be special floors. They're going to be like they're going to be a divider. So they're going to be like a lobby, or eating facilities, that sort of thing in this area. So let me go ahead and continue at least onto floor 10, these elevators, because we're probably going to make some modifications. I want the elevators to be a little bit different on these next floors. So we could go, yeah, no, I think this is the best thing to do. So it's going to take quite a while for all this to happen, but let me think about it. So, what I want to build in the future is I think we're going to go ahead and change the 2 elevator shafts into, or 3 elevator shafts down to 2. That's probably the best bet. So, I want to go ahead and start to get much larger bedrooms in, stuff like these now, but, to be fair, I can build them. No problem. I do require water, I do require recycling, and I do require bins, but they don't have to be, as long as they're on the same floor, they don't actually have to be right beside the bedrooms. So that is something to consider. What about you 2 bedrooms? So there'd be a little bit of a gap there, but that's not a bad thing. I think I'm still going to go ahead and change up though to 2 elevator shafts. I think that's what I want to try and do. So let me go ahead and try and see what we can do here. So yeah, that's the problem. That is a big problem. I need to keep the elevator shafts here. I can't go ahead and start a new elevator shaft here, which is a little bit frustrating. So it turns out that there is a way around this, which is good, and this is here. This is an upgraded elevator that does not need to start on the ground floor, and that's essentially really what I need. So we're going to go ahead and get this, but we need to get a consultant who is exclusive on elevators, which is interesting. So, for consultants, we jump into here, and that's another art one. I think it's operations, I think we need to go ahead and do. So, your office is much larger, but we can fit you in like there. So, let me go ahead and remove, actually, we'll remove, tell you what, we'll remove you and we'll remove you. Let's jump back into here, operations, and grab you there. So, that works out fine. Again, it's not totally following the pattern, but it's going to work. Then, if we jump into influence here, we're looking for the, that's going to cost a lot of influence. We have a lot of influence to go ahead and, oh no. Right. So we're going to have to do quite a bit of unlocking here. So what we need for this next one is we need a large construction office. needs at least 1. Which is frustrating because I'm not really much near that stage, and we need 9 stars prestige for that. Now we're at 8, which is good, so we can go ahead and do that relatively easily. So if I jump back down here, we've got the money to go ahead and buy ourselves. Essentially the art stuff is buying more prestige, so what we're going to do is go ahead and put you on the wall, and that should get us up to 9 stars, which it has, which is nice to see. We also got, I think, another food unlock as well. Yeah, large restaurants, which are extremely large, which is good to see. Right, so we need to jump into offices and get a large office. So a large office is, funnily enough, pretty large. Now, you would fit quite well over there, actually. That's interesting. But do I want to go ahead and do it? Well, the thing is, you're going to be here temporarily. You're not going to be here consistently. So let me go ahead, and we should be able to now jump in here, and we've got a large office. I've constructed one. Do I need to put someone in here? Let's put something in here. Oh my word, but no. Right, this is bad. I can't do what I want to do. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do. So what we're going to have to do is keep the elevators they are the same way, but at this floor we're going to leave this floor blank, and we're going to go up, and we're going to start to build on some of these other floors, and we're going to just have to do our extra lobby area. I mean, we'll probably have some food items on this floor, floor 11. Then we're going to have to build 2 or 3 floors just with same elevator patterns but different office patterns. That's really what we're going to have to do here. So let me go ahead and build some elevators first of all. So that is in this menu here. Let's go ahead and continue up to, it's going to have to be all the way up to 14 for the time being, and that means we can go ahead and get this done quite easily. So if I go ahead and jump back in and we go for another large, I don't know why I deleted that. Let's actually see what you require. So this building needs to contain more financial offices to attract its tenants. Needs a greater variety of large restaurants. Needs a greater variety of restaurants with a bar area. Needs a greater variety of restaurants that serve dinner. Need a greater variety of medium stores. So that's quite a lot of stuff, and we also have a lot of facilities we need as well. So IT, computer repair, file storage, auditing service, corporate communications. There's a lot of stuff that we require for this, so it's going to be quite a large expansion if I'm totally honest. But we can go ahead and do it. Now, no, that's not good. That's not good at all. What's the problem? We need more. Okay. Understandable. So we've got too many offices going on here, which is understandable. So let me go ahead and pause. Now, what I'm going to say is something which you're probably not going to like, is that I've kept up with a pattern of sorts up to this level, but for the next few levels it's just going to have to be beyond random. Again, later down the line I would like to sort it out, but this is very time consuming. And we're on episode number 5 now, and how much have we achieved? You know what I mean? So, some of the stuff I will be doing off camera, I'll be going ahead and retidying up, but there's just, the bottom line is there's not going to be as much of a pattern as we continue on up. That's really what I'm trying to say. Right, so I need to go ahead and add in more facilities. That's the first thing. So looks like we need a second copy center. So we jump into here, office commodities, and we need a copy service. So we'll go ahead and place you. Again, we can go ahead and use these two. We'll stick you right in the corner then, actually, just because it's a good fit. Now, we are going to go ahead and add in quite a few more office facilities right now anyway, because we might as well. So what do we not have? We have janitorial copy, so we don't have this one here, which this one's quite a large one actually. We'll go ahead and stick you in there. Then what else do we not have? So we've got the commercial printing service. That is something which we don't have either. So we're going to go ahead and stick you in there. Then is there anything else which we've got unlocked? There's actually a lot more stuff. So yeah, file storage. Yeah, so this is where this gets a little bit difficult. I can't go ahead and put any more of this underground, but I can start to go ahead and delete more offices, which is something I might start to do. Like on the, I think we're on to the 3rd floor now, or the 2nd floor. But saying that, we can go ahead and fit a lot of it underground, so I'll probably just start to do that. So this is going to really eat into our profit margins though. And we're going to see that very shortly when we take over into the next day. So while I'm at it, I want to go ahead and try and reach the goals that I was... Oh, you require phone lines. That's great. Right. phone lines. So a phone line over to you and a phone line over to you like that. Please don't tell me you require... Oh, we've actually already got a phone line, which is good. You're on the optimal level. So one thing I'm noticing is that we need to get our maintenance boys 21 tenants and 3k to go ahead and renovate. So I'm just going ahead and looking at and thinking about the aims I set myself at the start of the episode. So to have 150 people, we've achieved that. To have a prestige of 10 stars, that's something which I've not achieved yet. So let's go ahead and... Well, we can't do medium art yet. Let's go ahead and grab something like this, for example. So this is, it's going to have an upkeep, unfortunately, but that's increased my prestige up to 10 stars, which is good to see. Now you guys require power as well, which is understandable. So we'll go ahead and extend you right along there and right along there. Don't really know what's going to go in at the end here, if I'm totally honest yet, but eventually I'm sure we'll go ahead and fit something in. You're not happy as well. Tenant is considering moving out. I think it's because right now the offices have got a lot of grime in them. But to end this episode, we are just going to go ahead and fill out some of these offices. So again, we can't accommodate for you guys. We can go ahead and accommodate for quite a lot of you guys. So we'll go ahead and stick in some legal offices over here. We're probably going to have to go ahead and trail a lot of phone lines right across the building now. But it's something which is probably just going to have to happen. Eventually, I'm expecting that every single floor is going to require multiple phone lines. That's really just the bottom line. Right, so how are we doing at the expansion at the top? So let's go back onto times mad speed. And... oh, we've got so much to do now, that's the thing. There's just so much on our list. So let's go ahead and expand that. I'm considering adding in more builders because the amount of, I guess, expanding we're doing, we're requiring a lot, that's the thing. So let me add in, we need to add in more phone lines to right along here, then right along this floor. As we can see, we're now basically putting in phone lines in every single floor. We're still making a good amount of money per day though, so I can still afford this mass expansion, but pause. People are starting to move out because we're over our phone capacity. So, how are you doing, sir? So we're just going to go ahead and add in a second one of you guys down there. And that's going to cost 800 per day. So yeah, we're really starting to eat into our profit margins now. Though we are starting to fill in some of these empty offices, which is good. But we need to go ahead and... yeah, we're really struggling here, not gonna lie. Let's add in and advertise some more creative and legal offices before we wrap this episode up. I just want to try and get a lot of these empty gaps filled out. That's really what I want. Is this the first person to move out in an extremely long time? Not gonna lie. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get some more of these offices filled. Again, going back to the maintenance centre, another 8 people to go ahead and get their offices renovated. I really need to unlock an automatic system to do that because it's something which I just often just forget about, which is not good at all. Right, so let me go ahead and see who we've got here. So let's go ahead and add in all of these creative offices. Again, this is where, even though we're spending a lot more money per day, this is where we're going to be making a lot more of our money back per day, which is good. So let's go ahead and we filled in some more of these offices. Let me jump in here to phone and let's go ahead and extend the phone line right along here before we get a complaint there. So all in all, we've got 4 empty offices right now, and then we're going to go ahead and in the next episode continue on our upwards building, which shall be good. Now before we wrap this up, let's slow down and let's see. So we're still at over 5,000 per day, which is pretty good. But I want to see whereabouts we're at with our requirements for this offices. So financials maybe not the best one to start with. Creative's probably a better one. So, or is it? You also need TV lines. Ooh, that's something we've not actually built, but it's something which we can do. So they expect security and expect temporary staffing services, which is interesting. What about tech offices? Oh my word, that's the thing, we should just aim for 1. We should really just aim for 1. So let's go back and aim with financials. So, the problem is we've dealt with some more of the stuff at the bottom, but we need auditing, corporate communications and building security. That's stuff which we can easily implement. Then we also require a greater variety of large restaurants, bars. That's all stuff which we can add in relatively easily as well though. But it's just going to take a little bit of time. So that's what I'm going to work towards in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. So hope you can join me when I go ahead and face that challenge. And again, we're just gonna we're doing a lot of building right now, which is good, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm at this stage where I'm really enjoying this game. Now, I understand that some of it is a little bit repetitive, but again, I'm gonna try and remove that going forward. If you've got any suggestions about how I should build things or what I should build in the future, then please go ahead and leave a comment down below. And that is it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.